Second half not far from getting underway now. 35-point margin in favour of the Sydney Swans as we head back downstairs to their former premiership captain, Barry Hall.
Yeah, thanks, Dwayne. Well, the Sydney Swans are making every post a winner in that first half of football. And another win they've had is against Dylan Shields. Only had the 5 disposals in the first half, but he's averaged 27 in the first 2 weeks. 12 contested possessions. He's kicked 4 goals so far in his first 2 games of football. Really stemmed his influence to this bloke right on screen here. Very underrated player, Craig Bird. He's the reason why this side's such a good team. Very, very underrated. He's just one of the links in the chain.
It's going to be important to see who can actually step up. Lance Franklin just lurking on the wing. In fact, just backward of it as well. About to plough forward, perhaps. Former Swan Shane Mumford. Been reported, we understand. Good crowd in, and it's been a high-quality contest between 2 undefeated teams. This is second and third on the AFL ladder coming into round 3. Old teammates Mumford and Pike. Good tackle. Cornelio laid the tackle on McGlynn, who was coming hard. Green. Shaw got there with Devon Smith at the same time. Smith held his feet. McVeigh to Shaw. Manhandled across the line, and will get a ball in. The older of the 2 Shaw brothers playing today, of course, Reese.
Great attack on the ball from McGlynn. Just charging out the contest.
About 4 years, the senior. Reese and Heath head-to-head today. Kennedy. Hanbury to Franklin. Well, Heath waited around to see if anybody was going to go for it. Davis does. Whitfield got some space to set it up through the middle. Needs a kind bounce, does Patfull. He gets one. Thought about going all the way himself. Goes to McCarthy.
Well-weighted kick from Joel Patfull. He did need the right bounce. It was good work from Lockie Whitfield to get the ball out in front of him. But as we said, a little interesting kicking style McCarthy has. But he needs to get his team off to an absolute flyer here with a really nice kick. Here's Patfull's weighted kick. Just pulled the kick out in front of McCarthy.
Hasn't had a massive afternoon at the office just yet, Cam McCarthy. Maybe just starting to warm into it.
That certainly helps when you haven't had a big night. He's presented pretty well at the contest. Hasn't had a lot of disposals, but he hasn't actually flushed that one. Here's the good news from Lockie Whitfield. If he was going to miss the pass, he was going to miss out in front so Patfull could run onto it. And then a nicely weighted kick to McCarthy. Now he's got this off the instep pretty much. It started left and faded back to the right. And he's pretty relieved and happy. And just the start that the Giants needed early in this second half.
As mentioned earlier, they did come from 6 goals down to win by 8 last week, GWS, but quality of opposition is a little different this week than last week when they played Melbourne.
It is that, Dwayne, and I agree with that. But the one thing about, and I've watched them really closely the last couple of years, they don't get intimidated about what's happening in the second half. So they'll take the game on still.
They kicked 13 goals in a row last week, GWS. So when they put the hammer down, they really did motor. Green.
Good spread
there. Look at the spread. You can see they don't mind. They'll just run forward.
Well, there's 3 ran hard from that centre bounce contest.
Griffin loads long. McCarthy could get the leap from behind Cameron. McCarthy stayed down. And 2 in a row.
He's kicked that one better than his set shots.
There's that sting in the tail. I said, Lynchy, I thought there was something in this game. I thought they were disappointing in the first half of the first quarter, but the things that happened then, they transition their forward line, not putting pressure on. I don't think that happened in the second quarter. It was just individual brilliance from Franklin and Heaney that got Sydney Swans in that situation, being 35 up. Great start to GWS, really good. He's a fantastic competitor. I like the way that he just wants to, he's got urgency about his game and he wants to keep involved in the contest.
Missed opportunities in the first half, saw them go down at half-time, be down by 35 points at half-time. They've taken those chances in the first 2 minutes of this third term. Really good start to get their spirits up.
Margin cut back to 23. Mumford doing okay in the ruck. Bug came in hard. Ward to Kelly. Confidence high now. Heath Shaw runs.
And again, they win clearances.
Heads in the Phillips direction. He just ran himself under the ball. Grundy plays on quickly. Reece Shaw. Hanbury. Heads wide. McGlynn. Had to go back and get it. Jetta. Wanted to use the corridor. Rowan, well, he tried to be slick. The Cunningham missed him. Bug flicks it back to Core.
Well, they're out here again.
So Shield to Green. Whitfield on the move, and he's on his left. Normally uses it well. Shield was there for the 1-2. Whitfield back to his left. McCarthy.
And space in front of Griffin.
Well, Griffin on Jetta, and the 232s. Griffin had the space that he needed, and this is a massive kick.
And Ryan Griffin is a beautiful kick of the football. He'll look to get it inboard, but already most of the Swans players on the ground are in defensive 50. So Griffin, back him in here. Little right to lefter.
He's got a natural fade, Lynchy, so it should favour him if he doesn't kick a lot of this.
And hasn't kicked a goal for them just yet.
He has now.
He has now. That's his first for GWS.
Huge raps when he came into the competition as one of the elite players already in his early years. And we just see here the build-up. McCarthy finds Griffin, who worked into space. The only real space was deep in the pocket, so he was forced to go to the boundary line, but just around the body from 40 metres out is a really nice kick. Let's have a look at the Giants' last 5 home and away games. They've been very impressive with 4 wins. Just have a look at the Giants. Their last 5 home and away games, they've had 4 wins from 5 games. That's really impressive form line. It's going to take some play to get back into this one, but they're only 17 points down and looking good.
Oh, Mumford to Green to McCarthy. Bumped on the mark attempt.
Yeah, no doubt. A chop of the arms or a push in the back.
He may be just within range here. He goes for the pass. Cameron. Good fist, Teddy Richards. Devon Smith to keep it alive. He got one a little high.
Yeah, pay the high tackle as well.
Getting some breaks.
These are the half chances they have to take. They've taken the first 3. This is going to be a big ask, but as we can be able to see from the angle, they're not deep
it's
pockets.
A bit wider.
There is a lot of light in between the 2 posts.
He's got some class about him, Devon Smith, and he can find the opening when you think he can't. Tries to bend that bag. Mumford went down. Griffin couldn't go the half volley. Lloyd, everything under pressure now. Hanbury dumped. Scully flicks it up. Cameron from 50. Phillips up. Tried to flick down to a teammate. He couldn't quite find one. Grundy, bang. And Shaw takes off. Has some time, some space.
Jetta goes.
Jetta working hard. Whitfield working hard with him. Jetta's use of the body was superb. Will he go for Franklin? Franklin runs back into space and he was held.
He's got a great knack as a key forward to get, a bit like Cameron, to get players under the ball and double back. Oh, where you going, bud? You've got to go behind the marks, mate.
Optimistic. He's only 10 metres in front of it, but worth a try.
Now look at the stats here, boys. The GWS are just dominating. They've had, 11 more possessions, double the contested possessions, inside 50, 6-1. This will be really against the flow of play early in this quarter.
But typical of the first term, a deep defence transition for a shot at goal.
And they were efficient in the first term too, so 1 inside 50 could end up in 1 goal here. Stop this run of 3 in a row for GWS, and he misses to the near side.
And that's the break the Giants need.
I thought Andrew Phillips was great bringing that ball back in there, but I don't know whether he should be arresting forward. I'd like to work him off the bench now and get a smaller player in there. He doesn't look like he's going to have a marking impact down there.
Core. Whitfield. Shaw. Bug. So they run and take it on. Treloar back to Bug. He made it bounce, and it didn't work for them. Bird looks up. Options are plenty. On the rebound, McGlynn. This'll hurt. Stings will off that.
Missed.
It's missed. Hit the post.
Just missed, yeah.
McGlynn thought, well, he was a bit confused there.
Did he think it was touched by the player, Phil Davis?
Well, Phil Davis hit the umpire, so maybe the umpire didn't get a great view of it either, but there was contact between Davis and the goal umpire.
Haynes. We'll show you that again when we can. And stick with the live action because it's actually plenty at the moment. Grundy.
Here they go. They look for the corridor switch again.
McVeigh. He sits it up for Franklin into one-on-one with Davis. Good fist, Davis. Tip it. Tipped it down. Treloar and Bug there. Treloar to Bug. Whitfield. Is that 15? Yes. Sure. The crowd are into it right now, and boy, GWS into it.
Let's have a look at this Ben McGlynn shot at goal. And we're looking at the left goal post.
Gee, that...
I think there was a little deflection. Oh, is that shadow?
And again, the umpire is in perfect position there to make that call.
Benefit of doubt, the umpire.
You may have heard it rather than seen it. Cunningham inside 50. Franklin and Davis used his body well. Now he needs to handball it nicely. Haynes. Still full of run.
Good chase, Rowan.
Cameron tried to take his man away and Richards didn't fall for it. He went and got the ball to McGlynn. Short. Core tried to dive, but Tippett was in the spot.
Wow, just some untidy. Well done to Gary Rowan. That chase down just caused a turnover because they've been untidy 2 or 3 times outside defensive 50 GWS, and that's what set up this goal. So good defensive chase down by Gary Rowan.
Saw a good contest between these two teams round 1 last year. GWS winning after a lightning delay mid-game, tumbling rain. And this is quality at the moment. This is a good, solid contest between two undefeated teams. And Tippett hasn't had the best afternoon either. If you just joined us, they were 35 points down, and they've kicked the last 3 goals of the game, the Giants. Cornelio. Dangerous, but they're backing themselves in, and Haynes is away. To Phillips. To Scully. Well, maybe not.
Oh, gets there.
Cornelio. Reece Palmer, body on the line. Green went to ground, an opportune time. Through McCarthy. Grundy. Lloyd. Grundy. Rampy. Danger. Cameron cut it off. Richards under pressure. Kept that alive, Reece Palmer.
Oh, he's kicked.
And that is brilliant. 99 games he's played. That might be the best thing he's ever done.
They hung in there. They just stayed, putting the pressure on, scrapping the ball forward. And Reece Palmer, when the ball goes in deep, good work from Jeremy Cameron to read where Rampy was going to go, diving on the ball, and in 2 steps around the body, natural left footer, and kicks it through beautifully. That's great work from Reece Palmer. He had a really good 12 months with GWS. Really handy player.
Well, that's a player playing for survival. Yep. He knows what he's got to do that week in, week out. Fantastic goal.
Important player, plays a majority of a defensive role in the forward half. And obviously we see he's got the matchup on Reece Shaw, but if you're playing a defensive role, still really important you put pressure on your opponent by scoring.
4 goals in a row to start this term for Greater Western Sydney. Jetta tries to open up the midfield.
Shields down in the middle of the ground there.
Laidler to McVeigh to Franklin. Davis was in his bag. umpire said Franklin played for it.
Well, Davis has had the match-up on Franklin of late, and he's making it very hard. As we see, Dylan Shield just limped from the ground. It appears it may be a left ankle injury out of that contest.
He's had a quiet night, 7 possessions. He's averaged 27 possessions this year in both games.
Hanbury. Bird gets free. Stand start Laidler from 50. And it drifts and things just not going right suddenly for Sydney.
Well, that's exactly the transition from the first half, where the half breaks were going for Sydney. They're going against them at the moment.
Just about to say, Lynchy, it's 4 goals to 4 behinds, and they're the same inside 50, so what a turnaround for the Giants.
And there's the confidence from Devon Smith as well. They're all showing it. Reece Palmer! I thought the goal was the best thing. That's a mark or too high.
Oh, he's paid the free kick. You got to pay the mark.
I think it did hit the ground, boys. But
doesn't matter.
Nice.
Devon Smith. Hate to harp on it, but as we said, they did kick 13 in a row last week. They've kicked 4 in a row. And they did come from 6 goals down last week, Greater Western Sydney. They keep fighting the 2015 version. Smith, the half forward, and it works.
Yeah, we look to go short.
Scully looks up. He goes for goal. That's touched by Cameron, or just rolled through for a behind anyway.
There's one of those mongrel kick forward that does work, Lynchy. Peter Dacos kicked 600 goals off me.
McVeigh. Cunningham. We're back into the team this week with Adam Goods playing in the reserves, the NEFL this weekend. And Adam Goods might find it hard to get back into this lineup as well. Nick Smith, a late withdrawal, could be expecting to come back next week. McVeigh. But if they go down here, Sydney, you'd think they'd bring him straight back in. Cunningham. McGlynn.
And they go one-on-one to Buddy Franklin. No, well done from the Giants. They've got back in to block up the space.
From 35 down to 14 points down. Packful. Good fist. Shaw. Right spot. Whitfield.
He's a class act, Whitfield.
Yeah.
Coming up for disposal number 19.
The other bloke's Devon Smith, Lynchy, just 23 possessions. He just works so hard, and there's another mistake here. This is what you've got to... We'll go to Barry Hall.
Yeah, Dylan Shields really probably on that left ankle. They pulled some ice out a little bit previous. I'm not a physio, but I thought when you pull the ice out, you're done for the day. But he's up and about again, so let's hope he can get back on because they need him.
Bird, slick hands. Greater Western Sydney getting numbers back. Little flick out, Ward. Throw. It wasn't a flick out, it was a throw.
Well, that turnover where they tried to get the ball to Phil Davis and missed the target and cause that stoppage, they're the things where you've got to know the position of the game. You're on top, scoring pressure, kick down the line and get another contest, but they are a young side, so let's have a... Yeah, that's too... Oh, was that too slick there, Lynchy? What do you think? Did he close his fist?
No, I didn't see that one, to be honest. I'll
get you in the bad books with the umpies, so I'll ask you.
Craig Bird settles some nerves here at the SCG.
Important goal. They've worked extremely hard in this term, the Sydney Swans, and as Barry Hall just alluded to, the inside 50s were pretty similar, but just haven't been able to get reward for effort. Let's have a look at Reece Palmer's attempt at hanging in front of the members. There's 2 grabs, 3, 4 off the foot. No, I think he's dropped that one in the end, and that's a quick handball, very quick handball. That was a throw. Free kick against, resulting in a Bird goal.
Saw a mark paid last night that was similar.
Jamie Elliott, yeah, that's right, the MCG.
No doubt.
And the restart, and the umpire will have to restart.
I'm trying to look across his commentary line. I don't think any of us got up that high to worry about those sort of things.
You got up a couple of times. Took mark of the year, Lynchy.
Oh, did you really, Lynchy?
Thanks for that.
Absolutely.
That's when you were 4 kilos less. And
I'll tell you what, and it still stands. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, Google it. Alistair Lynch, mark of the year. It still stands as one of the best of all time. Mumford. Phillips. Ball to the back. Richard scrambles it through.
You've got to make sure they don't allow Sydney to get back-to-back goals here. Got to respond, GWS.
Cunningham. Grundy. His third term's been played at a breakneck pace. Slowed it down a little. McGlynn. Tippett tries the fend off. Davis knocked it down to Green. Whitfield another possession. Haynes. Bug. Good smother on Ward. McGlynn body on the line. First game 2015 for Ben McGlynn. Back into play. Sydney chant rings around the SCG. Bug goes back to Haynes. Will Palmer go up again here? He does. Hands on it.
Tell you what, it was very muggy in Sydney this afternoon. I think these players are feeling the pinch here.
Yep.
You just see McGlynn, the sweat was pouring off him after that effort. So they might be just feeling the pinch there. Both sides looking to three-quarter time, I would think. I think they'd be happy with no score, both of them. If they could sneak one, it'd be good.
McVeigh. Tippett runs under it a little.
We're going to play a free kick there in favour of Kurt Tippett. Maybe a hold of the right arm in that marking contest.
Yeah, he's got to, Phil Davis has to get out of that. For a big bloke, he gets caught a lot giving free kicks away one-on-one.
Cunningham hands it up. Laidlaw. Lloyd.
Well done, Toby Green. You can just see him in Toby Green inside 50 spot. That. Oh, now Lance Franklin gets there. No, well done to the GW. Well set up then.
Whitfield.
Yeah, good call, Shorey. Was Toby Green at midfielder getting back into that space?
Possession 22 for Lockie Whitfield. Still a chance, Cheddar. He likes these. Gets it to work back. And it bounces kindly.
Shorey, that's two goals have come from turnovers in their defensive half. One was that switch across goals. On this occasion, took the extra bounce looking for the perfect out, whereas the long bailout kick down the line makes it someone else's problem and a stoppage at half forward rather than a turnover at half back. So, great goal from Jeddah, and again, back-to-back goals for the Sydney Swans, which is great for them.
And Dylan Shields has just entered this game against. That's really good news for the Giants.
He's got to get his hands on the ball, Barry. He's had the 7 possessions. We said before 27. You said he needed to lift. He really did, because he's a man who can split the lines and kick goals from 50.
And the ball up. Pike got it down, but not to a teammate. Heaney came in off the line. Just beelined it and drives it long. Franklin edged out of it nicely by Patfull. Treloar.
Stays in.
Davis made sure a win out.
Isaac Heaney hasn't had a lot of the ball. It's 8 disposals for the game, his first touch for the quarter, but everything he does is clean and makes an impact. That one, deep forward 50 entry.
Mumford front spot, Scully, kick smothered. Jack put his head down. Scrambling kick from Davis. Scully. Shield back on. Just got it off to Kelly. And Phillips sees it out.
Really important last few minutes of this quarter for the Giants. They lead the quarter 4-2 to 2-4, but just got to finish the quarter off.
Winning the quarter by 10 points. Hanbury. Tippett tries to fend off first, and Davis outmarks him, and they are away. Green.
Oh, that's a terrible.
Oh.
That's a shocking kick.
And Franklin's within range.
And again, defensive half turnovers has been what's killed them in this quarter.
That's 3 in a row now. Oh, here's one from Sydney Swans too.
Lloyd, the twist, the turn, and now it opens up. Kieran Jack makes them pay full price for the turnover.
Well, I said about 3 minutes ago that both sides would like to get the three-quarter time without another score, and they've just kicked, 3 goals nearly in that period of time. So that does hurt. There's no doubt the GWS have got tired here, but that's a sloppy kick. They got away with this. I think he's a very good player, Jakey Lloyd. I like the way that he comes off halfback when he plays down there. He's really got some work on him. And there he is, Kieran Jack. Plays now as nearly a small forward. There's the score sources. 52 points from turnover.
Yeah, the notable stat obviously is turnovers. 8 goals for the Sydney Swans, 5-7 for GWS.
And the Giants have made the move on the sub. Nathan Wilson has taken the green vest off, and Andrew Phillips has put the red one on.
Okay, Kennedy kicks in the Franklin direction. Patfull used his body well. So the sub for the Sydney Swans is Dean Towers. They're yet to bring him on. Got that up their sleeve.
Yeah, I think Andrew Phillips just, the night probably doesn't suit. A bit slippery out there. It's been very humid and sweaty.
Ward told to keep going, not 15. Davis. Umpire said he didn't control it or have enough of it. Here's Lloyd again. Turnover. Reed's handball missed the mark. He's trying to make amends, mop it all up. Big 4 minutes coming up here to three-quarter time. Margin was 35 points. It's 32. They're still winning the quarter. Mumford just handed that to Ward. Cameron. They missed a few shots early in this game, and it may come back to haunt him.
It need to finish off the quarter with some quality ball inside 50. Rampy's playing as the loose back, as is Grundy. So they've got a couple back at the moment, the Sydney Swans.
He's kicked 1 goal 3 from just 6 possessions, Jeremy Cameron. So he could have a big role in the last quarter as well. Umpire will ball this up.
Well, they're being challenged, the Swans, but the one thing about a good side is they meet the challenge, and they've nearly got it out to the same half-time lead, as you said, Dwayne. So the mistakes from GWS, but sometimes you force the pressure builds over a long quarter.
Hanbury, short. Franklin lurking forward. He wanted it long. He went short in the end. Heaney. Franklin, one-on-one, front spot. Patfull. He needed to get a hand on that to try and pluck the mark.
Joel says, what's that for? Well, it was an unrealistic attempt. And
well, he's got to touch it.
Yeah, he got to at least get a fist on it.
His idol as a kid growing up in SA was Tony Modra.
He used to touch a few.
He used to touch a few and pluck a few.
Baz, how do you see this one from Buddy?
Well, he'll love this. Left foot up. He'll do his little arc, as he always does, and he'll swing this in beautifully. Mark it down.
Mark it
down. In the book.
If he does his arc from here, he won't even be in play. Here he is.
Mark it down, he said.
Oh, Barry Hall.
That's gone the other way.
He's out of the jungle.
He's made a monkey out of all of us too.
Well done, Baz. Good call. Beautiful kick from Buddy Franklin.
That's not a normal left foot kick, Lynchy. There's no doubt about the free kick, but a left footer from that side, Baz, how many times would they curve it back that way? It normally goes from left to right, as you said, and it's a natural left foot, but he goes the other way here. It starts left to right, then goes right to left. Incredible.
Beautiful kick. That's why he's a superstar. The unorthodox.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, Barry Hall.
Not enough, but anyway, we'll talk about that another day. But last 14 of 17 inside 50s for the Sydney Swans, so they've been dominant.
It's Barry Hall, 746 goals for his career. Sydney Premiership captain with us on the boundary line. To half forward. They need a reply here, GWS. Jetta, the twist and turn. Margin's blown out to 38. So they're about to win the quarter, the Swans, unless GWS can find a goal in the last 2.5 minutes.
The last 4 goals have come from 9 inside forward 50s to 3. 4 goals, 2 to just 2 points. They're winning in all facets of the game at the moment. Need to pinch one back before 3/4 time, the Giants.
Davis heads wide to Green. Caused one of those turnover goals. Sits it up. Cameron, he looks around for an opponent first to feel for contact, and Ted Richards enjoyed that. He just keeps on keeping on, Ted Richards. Now 32 years of age. 233 games for the ball in. Tippett. Back to lend a hand. McVeigh. Parker. No space, but yet found some. Kennedy got it from Grundy. Rowan down the middle to Shaw, and they break. He just bangs it long. McGlynn's got a couple to beat. Might still beat them. There's 4 around him. Franklin!
Wants a handle.
Little knock to his own advantage. Didn't quite work for him. The crowd were off their seats there. Everyone at the SCG went up as one. That was a moment, and it didn't quite evolve for us.
But he's got a wry smile on the face as well. I just had it. Just had to pop up.
He's sure wide. Scully. Swans with the numbers here as well. Kennedy. Rampy. McVeigh. Franklin wants it long again. He's in the spot. Franklin. Got it.
It's just hard to stop. Weight of numbers. The ball has just been pounded into the forward 50 over the last 15 minutes of play. And Buddy Franklin has looked dangerous, whether you've been forward 50 or up on the wing. But 10 inside 50s to 4 in the last 10 minutes of play.
Five is his best against GWS. He thought they actually were going to recruit him at one stage. Didn't quite eventuate as the Giants wanted. Franklin here at the Swans, and he's missed.
He's kicked one from row 6 that's faded left and right and everywhere.
How do you kick his last one and miss that one? I don't understand.
Canelio. Dying seconds. Maybe a little disappointed with that. Greater Western Sydney. They kicked 4 goals in a row to open the third term. Got themselves back in the contest, and then the big bounce back. 39 points the margin at 3/4 time here at the SCG. The Swans back in control. Three-quarter time at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and the third term saw great to Western Sydney with Cam McCarthy firing. Cut the margin back to just 14 points. But then the Sydney Swans guns started firing. Jeddah, a long-range shot that landed. And they're back out to a 39-point margin. 14-12, 96-7, 15-57. Lance Franklin's got 4. Isaac Henny, 3 goals, 2 of those in the opening term. And there's the numbers. It's been a close contest to watch, enjoyable contest. And it's not over just yet as we head back down to Barry Hall.
Yeah, thanks, Dwayne. Well, just thinking about what the two coaches would be saying. John Longmire on one hand would be saying, let's keep going what we've done in the first 3 quarters. We've done nothing wrong. They've finished well. All the key indicators have been pretty good for the Sydney Swans. The work rate's been up, so it'll all be about process for John Longmire and a 4-quarter performance. Leon Cameron, on the other hand, let's back our fitness. They've been pretty good for the last 2 weeks. They've been finishing games really, really well. Let's back our fitness. Let's look at uncontested ball, moving the ball quickly, get it inside 50. Let's try and score as much as we can. Maybe the game is out of their reach, but let's have a crack at it.
Let's have a look at the top 5 disposal winners on the ground, and there's been some fine displays out there now in this game so far. Daniel Hannabury's been outstanding for the entire game. Smith has been very good as well. McVeigh, Whitfield on the outside, his polish has been very good, although one critical mistake off half-back in that third term, and he's Shaw. Very important for the Giants off half-back. The third term started really well. They kicked the first 4 goals of that quarter to 3 points. The Swans missed a couple of half opportunities in that 3 points, but the Swans just bounced back late in the game. Very impressive to finish off the quarter. 4 points up on the quarter.
Well, we talked about those score sources and the turnovers, and it was you know, getting up to a stage where it was just hurting GWS. I think 3 goals came direct from turnovers out of the back half, which really hurt you instead of going long down the line. Oh, look, I agree with Barry Hall. Leon Cameron would have just said to this, the GWS boys, just take it on. If they lost by more, it's not an issue. It's just how you attack this quarter. Be offensive, take some chances. You need to score quick to get back in the game.
39 points to margin. Final term underway. Mumford and Pike. Off the deck from Jack. Didn't quite work for him. To throw initially from Lloyd. Got away with it. McVeigh. Kennedy. Reed. Sprays the kick.
And what it does reinforce to GWS is that when you come up against a true Div 1 team, if you like, one of the superpowers, you've got to be very good to beat them, but you've got to be very good for a long period of time. And they just gave the Sydney Swans a sniff late in that quarter, and they took the chance.
Smith tried to flick it up, got a second chance to get it up to a teammate. Hunting it down, absolutely.
I think Mumford actually is taking out Griffin.
Oh, and he's down still, holding his leg.
Well, hopefully he's holding his quad and not his knee.
I think it might be a corky. Let's hope a corky.
Yeah, because he came in really hard.
Reece Palmer, well, he had no one to go to, and that probably not the best of the options.
He was assisted quickly up onto his feet, Ryan Griffin. It does appear to be a quad.
Lloyd to Shaw, little fumble. Time to mop it up, and there's the look-away handball. Tony Shaw was talking about that maybe Phil Davis needs to develop that kind of poker face. There's the injury.
Let's have a look at Mumford. Comes in here to get McGlynn.
Oh, yeah.
But hits Ryan Griffin. And that's an old-fashioned corky or the dead leg.
Well, you can get some that'll fix up in about a minute's time or two, but you can get some that can take you out. You'll be sore for a week and might be doubtful next week.
Kelly flicked the handball back. So they've already used their sub as well. Nathan Wilson is on, with Andrew Phillips being subbed out.
Got to take the good, the bad with Shane Mumford. The way he attacks the ball, he's going to hurt a lot of other players, but sometimes you get friendly fire and take out one of his own like that.
Yeah, he's a ripper. Scully, little 1-2 with Treloar. Haynes still fighting this out. Greater Western Sydney started the third term with 4 goals in a row, and they sneak one early here. Tackle laid by McVeigh.
Got away with that one.
Yep, no prior.
Ryan Griffin just trying to keep that quad moving. They'll suss it out over the next couple of minutes. And
cannot sit down, Lynchy.
No,
if he sits down,
it may be the ice pack, and that's it.
McGlynn missed Hanbury. Whitfield handball through traffic. Green got it back to Whitfield, and he's trying to get onto. He got into his right, goes long. Cameron rolls to the back. Grundy should get there first. Gets a protection from Rampy. McVeigh. Richards. Inside to Shaw.
Great kick.
They've done this well.
Quality organisation the Sydney Swans have been for a long, long time. Handling the pressure well here. Franklin. Good pat away by Pat Full. Franklin still gets it back. Weaves some magic. But can't finish it.
They're the ones he normally kicks on the run, and he's got 4 goals, 4 for the night, Buddy Franklin.
Ward to Whitfield, and they're out. Scully.
This is the kick. This is the one they've had problems with. He's got to work hard here, Cameron.
And he gets there, Cameron, and holds it.
That's a really good pass out in front. He had to wait. Cameron didn't go early.
Mumford's feeding back to the goal square.
That's going to be probably the best option to Mumford in the goal square. Got to get there quick, though.
Sits it up instead to Scully.
It's probably
Laidler, but he took on the tackler a little, got it off just in time. Bird made it somebody else's problem. Cameron couldn't mark it. Devon Smith, the shimmy was good. Second one okay, but the handball not so good. Towed away from Core.
Yeah, well hit.
Smart. Devon Smith to Davis.
He's had a great...
Oh, the umpire in the way of Shaw. Been a few Shaws over time that would have liked to have run into
Come on, take that back. You hear from a lawyer.
Dance step from Callum Ward. Thinks about the long bomb. Haynes. And he sits it up for Mumford. Can't get there. Mumford and Cameron collide, and Cameron's now down. Whitfield on his left.
And Dwayne, you see Ryan Griffin in the background there. He's re-entered this game. He still looks a bit proppy, but he's ran that corky out somewhat.
Crutch. Cameron again goes hard on Laidler.
He's put the shoulder into Laidler there, Cameron.
Might be a few cookies by the end of this. Franklin hard. Patfield right with him. Good attack again from Ward to Haynes. Scully turned his opponent inside out. Needs to find a chest. Goes for the goal square. Palmer. He let it roll. All the way home.
Well left from Reece Palmer in the end, but see Jeremy Cameron, he's out on his feet. Start with, he nearly got cleaned up by his teammate and Shane Mumford, just an errant elbow from his teammate, and then he puts the tackle on Jeremy Laidler, and the head hits there, but some really good work. Scully was able to turn his opponent around. A mistake from the Sydney Swans player that allowed him to get over the back, but importantly, he put the ball under the wing and attacked the 50-metre arc and executed the shot nicely. Good work from Tom Scully. Got around his opponent and kicked truly. Just the what the Giants needed, just to bring it back within 6 goals.
They haven't banked the 4 points just yet. The Sydney Swans. Bouncer inside 50. Reece Palmer fights hard. Dragged down by Laidler. New South Wales Derby or Showdown. I know there's been a few throwing Battle of the Bridge up over the course of their short history together, these two teams, but it hasn't really stuck. And I'll tell you what, they keep producing contests like this, and the rivalry will evolve.
I'm sure the Sydney Swans are a massive fan of Battle of the Bridge. I feel they've got some fans out in the West, but it is a rivalry that will grow, and that's as the Giants mature, and they've certainly shown enough last year and certainly tonight, and the game's not over yet.
You can't invent or manufacture history, but it's just starting to get a little tighter between these two teams in every game. And as we saw last year, GWS did steal their first, and can they steal this one? That would be the biggest moment in their history if they were to come from 35, 38 down. Treloar, Shield feeds it back. Bug, Shield, and they still believe. Grundy front spot, a little toe off the deck, but it should be coming back. Reed turns it over. Mumford,
Well held.
Palmer goes for home. Goal umpire doesn't move.
That was outstanding work. I mean, across half-back as well, but Shane Mumford had the opportunity to bash the handball out as a first option. He held the ball back and then weighted it in front of Reece Palmer. Really good work. We'll just see here, Mumford takes possession after the turnover. Some good work. This is the build-up. Good transition. Mumford looks to go, but holds it back, allows Palmer to find space, and Palmer, exactly as Scully did a couple of minutes beforehand, attacked the 50-metre arc and kicked long. Great work from Reece Palmer, and probably more importantly from Shane Mumford to put him into space.
The other thing, 2 centre bounce clearances. He's been on top early in this quarter, and now he's up against Tippett. Kurt Tippett, who's playing nearly 50-50 ruck at the moment this season.
Hanbury dives in. There's still 22 GWS players there that believe they can win this one.
Fumbles.
Devon Smith breaks free. Spears to half forward. McCarthy went for the chest mark. Knocked down Jetta. Richards with the 1-2 with Jetta. And Lloyd into space. They need a nerve settler right now. Barry.
Sorry, Dwayne. Jeez, Jetta's been damaging. He was obviously outstanding last week. 14 disposals, but he's had 520 metres gained.
Zach Heaney hasn't played in a loss yet. Just 2 games, 2 wins. 97-70. Bug. Will flick on. Cornelio works. He gets it back from Green. No one to go to. That was clever. Scully just out of his reach. Jetta goes to ground. Takes Scully with him. They've got the numbers. Whitfield, Cornelio. Can he finish the deal? It's growing, this one. There's some heat in this kitchen.
Again, work rate. Just players getting involved. Whitfield involved. Scully and Cornelio had the poise and composure to finish off. This is the run-off halfback. Good handball into space. Sock into space. Green's handball worked extremely well. Now, this is a good contest from Scully. The ball didn't hit the target, but didn't give away the free kick to Jetta, but taps it out in front of Whitfield, who executed a beautiful handball, and the follow-up from Cornelio from that last half-back stoppage was fantastic.
And this is the kind of thing real rivalries grow from.
It doesn't hurt that they thought they'd recruited Buddy Franklin as well, but he went down to the neighbours down the road.
And the ball up, Tippett into the ruck. Franklin forward. Gathers, flicks it on. Heaney, young gun, bang!
Oh.
Got the kick away, nailed the goal, took himself out.
That is fantastic work from young Isaac Heaney. And a number of occasions during a game, he looks like he's hurt and he's probably winded. Hopefully that's all it is. But you take the contact. You know you're going to get the contact. On this occasion, it wasn't so much from the opposition, but the goalpost. But you take the contact to make sure that you execute the skill properly. And he's done that really well there. He knew he was going to get hit. Might have some sore ribs for a few days.
Oh, that hurts.
Isn't he wrapped around that goalpost?
That's a bit of whiplash, isn't it, in the base of the spine? Like it could have been a lot worse than that.
Yeah, the spine's not built to go that way too far.
The other thing too, Buddy and Isaac Heaney, haven't they worked together pretty well? The goal assist between them.
They're looking ominous together. Heaney, by the way, has 4 goals. And he hasn't got a NAB Rising Star nomination yet. You reckon he might sneak one?
I wouldn't think there's any rush.
No.
He'll be right.
Jack hacks it forward. Heaney stands under it. Ward down to Treloar. Back to Callum Ward. Back to Treloar. Patfull. Kelly. Devon Smith. Patfull.
Good hands again.
Great poise here. Mumford.
Treloar's kept going off half back.
And I think he's spent. This is his 4th effort in this string of play. He's trying to get it out.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's done everything he possibly could, but couldn't get the left arm away.
His heart rate's going at about 220 a minute.
He's gone.
He knows too. He knows just the situation. When the fumble comes in, and at this level you're going to pay.
Reed. Gathers his own crumb. Kennedy. Cunningham. Bird. Over the head of Franklin. Patfull. What does he want to do here? Does he want to take it out?
And the natural instinct was to get it over the line. And see Dan Hanbury sit down for a spell and continues the average for the season. He's at 28 disposals so far. And worked extremely well with 1 goal as well.
Griffin, good to see him up and running again. Whitfield.
Gee, that's a great kick. That is a kick of a star of the future, boys.
Scully. He needs to hit Cameron.
Oh, that's a good kick too, and good hands.
And they still believe, GWS. 27 points to margin. McCarthy kept it in front. Won himself a free. Play on to advantage. Kick inside 50. Crunch. Devon Smith knocked down. No free. Laidler. Cunningham. Might just take a bit of time off the clock here. Slow it down. Pike. Not normally a kicker.
He's got Bird running into space.
You want him to kick down the line.
Long.
And he does. Now Towers is now on and outmarked by Patfull, so they've jumped with their sub.
Yeah, and Heaney's put the vest on, so maybe after that goalpost incident, he's a little bit dusty.
I think the goalpost came off worse. He looks okay, Heaney, which is great news. Good applause for the man who's only played 3 games, but he's a local product, Isaac Heaney. In fact, New South Wales boy in the local town that he played football with in his junior career. The opposition coaches in those junior games just simply had the game plan, kick it away from the kid with the blonde hair.
He looks pretty relaxed there and pretty happy with his output for the night.
Back into play. Hanbury through Kelly's legs. They are tiring though. 27 points.
In the elite junior games that Champion Data have covered that Isaac Heaney has played in, he's never kicked 4 goals. So if you're going to ever kick 4 goals, you might as well start it at AFL level at SCG.
The crowd have really appreciated his 3rd game. Big smile on his face, massive future. And when he came up on the big screen here, huge round of applause rang around the SCG. Hanbury. Jack, speaking of local products. Haynes stands under this.
Well, against great sides, you find out things, and Dylan Shields going to find out that he's going to be sat on a lot this year because he's in brilliant form, or was in the first 2 weeks. But at the moment, he's only had the 12 possessions, averaging 27 over the year, so he'll get that attention most weeks.
Rowan to Lloyd to Franklin. Bounced off his chest.
Lockie Whitfield, 31 disposals. He's been very good for the Giants on the outside. He's Big Bud, just steaming. I think he laid a claw on that one, bounced off the chest.
He does that a lot, doesn't he, Bud? Trying to take the chest mark instead of in his hands, but it probably is a bit slippery at the moment.
Bug shrugs. Franklin.
Good tackle.
Lays the tackle. Bird, Franklin, bang. He's hard to tackle. Did the 360. Got away with it. Davis dives in. McVeigh. Hanbury on the left. 48 out.
Well, they're going to do some fast play from the kick-ins now. They're going to get some straight down the corridor, know that it's in plan, or even Mumford go to that centre square and just belt the ball on. We've got to take this on now.
Unusual to see a Shaw wrestling with Buddy Franklin on that occasion.
Oh, mistake here.
Haynes will flick on. Treloar. They are taking it on. Cornelio. Green. He wants to run. Shield. Scully. He worked hard there to get that, and he got paid the mark, even though he put it to grass. Cameron lurking inside 50, ignored. Treloar. That might work. Green.
Oh, kick.
Oh, good kick.
Oh, through Whitfield's hands. Smith.
He's had a great game, Devon Smith.
He shook them off. Went for goal. Just misses to the near side.
Lockie Whitfield has had 10 score involvements. It probably should have been a goal to him with a nice mark, but it ended up a point to Devon Smith. But he's been an outstanding player, up to 31 now.
Do you get a score involvement if you go from your own fumble?
Yeah, you'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So you give it to yourself.
Well, you fumble it and then go back and get it. And you get the double.
There's a lot of stats out there, Dwayne.
Absolutely.
Just can't always comprehend what they mean.
7.5 minutes left.
Well, Devon Smith's, boys, and I think he's been better than Whitfield. And I know Whitfield's been great, but he's had 15 contested possessions. He's kicked his 2 points and could have kicked a couple of goals. I think he should have with 30%. But they're both very good young players.
Jack. Hanbury to Lloyd. Canelio.
He's found his niche too, hasn't he, Lynchy? Canelio across our back. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing, the depth of midfield talents, you're going to see these players as they mature drift out to half-backs, half-forwards. They need some of these elite junior midfielders to be the ball distributors off half-back in the future.
Yeah, he was a pick 2 as well. Canelio. Oh, he was pushed out, Reid. Well, he played for it, perhaps, according to the umpire. Stripped, Wilson. Goes back again, still in trouble. GWS's 2 wins so far this year against St Kilda and Melbourne. So they're facing a lot better opposition here than they've had in the first couple of weeks for their wins. But they've shown something today that's rather impressive against the team that finished second last year. Jack. Flicked out. Devon Smith stole it back. Treloar. Shield.
Jetta's down, holding his left knee. Now, I'm not sure it's as severe as it looks, but he's just getting to his feet. And he was grabbing that left knee. So hopefully, it's, again, just a corky more than anything else. I think what we have seen from the Giants today, it was similar to the first 2 rounds where they've let the game slip at stages. They've been punished tonight. They got away with it in the first 2 weeks. They haven't got away with it tonight.
Yeah, they were lucky last week to get back into it. Mind you, they were good enough to kick 13 in a row. It's not lucky to kick 13 in a row, but they were terrible early in that. And if they can produce some 4-quarter efforts this year, not have 10-minute lapses mid-quarter, it's hard to know where they could finish, how high they could go.
Well, they'll beat some very good teams over the course of the season.
Oh, no doubt.
It's just as long as they put away the teams they should beat, and yeah, they can push right up there towards the top 8.
It's a snowball effect. They start winning some games, playing like this, they'll win a lot of fans. Scully to McCarthy.
Over
He's
the
got
shoulder.
3.
Well, the 2 lapses were in the first quarter. It was just from rebound from halfback where they at about the 15-minute mark. In the second quarter was where they turned the ball coming out of the back line and gave 3 goals back.
That's right.
So there are things you can get over and understand in the game, which is for Leon Cameron is probably easy to see, to teach.
There's a free kick against Grundy. Oh, he looked to give that off McCarthy. Changed his mind.
He can't get that to work back for him. So played 6 times before this. Sydney with 5 wins. The Giants with the 1 famous win last year. But the margins in the Sydney wins are getting a lot closer.
Have you picked anything out of the Sydney Swans? Another good, workmanlike performance. They're just so professional. I look at Kurt Tippett as a forward. His form up forward's not great. And Sammy Reid again, where's he best played? And he just needs to do more in a game.
Again, I think it's timing to both. And today is another game they've been able to get under the belt of both players. The thing that stands out, and they're not reliant on it, that's for sure, but they're not marking the ball in the forward 50, the Sydney Swans. Buddy Franklin's he's your forward utility right up the ground. He's not reliant on marks, but that's something they're not reliant on at the moment. But it's a lot easier if you can take a few grabs and convert those opportunities rather than relying on general play.
Well, Tippett's taken 3 for the night. We haven't seen him kick a goal. I'm looking at Sammy Reid. Sammy Reid's only taken 2 for the night. Hasn't touched the scoreboard. So, their situations are, where they're not informed, but they are still winning. They're going to go into the 4th round with 3 wins and no losses. So, it's a good start to the year.
Parker hands to it. Bird breaks free. Kennedy. It's the behind post. So, the Swans next week play Fremantle. That's at the main stadium. So, 2 of the form teams of the competition head-to-head there, Sydney and Fremantle. And Greater Western Sydney would like their chances against the Gold Coast at Skoda. Gold Coast, you would think, would be without Gary Ablett again.
They've got a big task tomorrow. Gold Coast taking on Geelong, down at Geelong.
Bird. Franklin.
There's a mark inside forward 50. There's a big hand in the chest and just pushed Joel Patfull away. And that is a really good contested mark. All the strong work was done in the lead-up.
I'm glad the umpire played that a mark and not a free kick for an early push. Let's see how early it was.
That's a great contest between two strong.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love that because a lot of times that brought back memories of Jason Dunstall at his best. And you too, Lynchy used to do that.
You
cheat when you could.
4 goals so far, Lance Franklin. In fact, he's kicked 4 goals, 5. But he is looking scary good for the rest of the year, Lance Franklin. He started the season in awesome form. Treloar. 27 points the margin. Whitfield. Canelio. Evan Smith. Oh, took on Franklin. Not such a great idea. Gets it back. Palmer. It'll be game 100 for him next week. Finally gets there. It's been a longish road. Callum Ward in the back. So he'll have that kick again from that spot.
Well, he's tried his heart out, Callum Ward. Just know that he just works so hard. Works really well with Mumford at centre bounce clearances around the ground. Runs hard. Just doesn't seem to tire, this bloke. He's been a great get as their captain.
Yeah, unlucky not to be All-Australian last year. Ultra reliable.
Kicking can be a bit sloppy at times, Dwayne, but he'll probably kick this now.
Yep.
Like that.
There you go, sure.
That happens.
That's just for you.
I'll take it on the chin.
Let's have a look at the Giants' next 4 weeks, and they'll be backing themselves in against any opposition. They're just going to make sure they sustain it. So Gold Coast and then the West Coast Eagles at Domain Stadium in Perth, Hawthorn at Spotless, and then Carlton in round 7 at Etihad Stadium. So some winnable games there, but just got to sustain the effort. At Sydney Swans and John Longmire there next month. Freo, as you said, Dwayne, massive game in Perth. Western Bulldogs at the SCG, Melbourne at the MCG, and then Geelong out at ANZ Stadium. Whoever comes up against the Sydney Swans are going to have their hands full, that's for sure.
Umpire didn't recall that bounce. Said it was a contest anyway. Bug. Little shimmy from Shield. Rowan used some strength. Whitfield with Lloyd. The Shield. Kelly. Treloar. Tired but still fighting on. The Giants. Canelio to half forward. Callum Ward. Grundy somehow found it in his lap. Shaw. And Reece Shaw. Another win over younger brother today.
Rampy's Kelly 2 behind play, Dwayne.
Another sore play. That might be a corky as well.
Fremantle are being joined the Corkies. Towers got the pass to Reid. He heads to Franklin, and he can put some icing on this.
This is the one that Barry Hall called at the other end of the ground.
You're right behind it, Baz.
I think he'll pull this one right, unfortunately, boys.
You jumped off.
Well, the odds are pretty good, aren't they? I hope he kicks this, Baz.
Yeah, he usually starts these right, fades it back left. Not the natural swing for a left footer.
It's coming back. It's coming back. He is worth the price of admission alone.
No doubt.
5 goals for Franklin.
Well, that just shows That just shows that Barry Hall fluked the first one.
Oh, sure, come on.
And Baz is pretty flat. He's gone all in first up.
Yeah.
And banked it.
And doubled up.
Good to see Sam Reid get involved. He's spent the later stages of this game in the forward half. Got back off the mark quick and got forward momentum to make that pass over 35 metres. That is an outstanding kick, and he's such a dynamic player. 10 shots for goal, 5 goals, 5 for Buddy Franklin, and he's getting it done up the field and in front of goals. Just having a chat to Heath Shaw, just about how he's going, I think. 10 shots, a bit running to Joel Patfull. It's not going all right.
1 minute from time. Mumford. Scully. Green. He sits that on Haynes a little. Off hands. Cameron. And he gets one back.
Well, that's the way I like to see him kick some goals too, not just in marking contests on the lead, but working hard to get front and centre. He's had a quiet since that first quarter. Kicked 1 goal, 3. There's the top 5 scorers on the field at the moment. 5 goals, 5 to Lance Franklin. Isaac Heaney kicked the 4. He kicked 3 before half-time, a bit quiet in the second half. Reece Palmer's done a really good job for his team, and Jeremy Cameron just finishes off 2 goals, 3 for the game.
Just struggled to get into the game, Jeremy Cameron. We've seen that again in round 1. Didn't have a lot of the ball, but kicked 4 goals. 5 shots at goal, though. It's a handy night out, but just not a lot of ball.
Pike rips it out of the air. Jetta. Good attack from Mumford on McGlynn. Jetta goes again. Left it behind. Whitfield, Treloar, Green. McGlynn down behind play. Hopefully he's okay. He's up. Good work right there. Fresh man on from Wilson. Cameron, can he get there? No. Rowan, front spot. 21 points the margin. Siren sounds. The Sydney Swans undefeated. After 3 rounds, the 2015 AFL season, the Greater Western Sydney Giants have not lost any admirers in New South Wales after this performance. In fact, they may well have won a fan or 2, even though they didn't win the game. The Sydney Swans prevail 16, 15, 111 to 12, 18, 90.
Yes, they're not far away, are they, the GWS Giants? 21 points is the margin, but Sydney threw absolutely everything at them, and they responded. And as I say, they're getting closer all the time. Let's have a look at the scorecard very, very quickly. How impressive was Buddy? 5 goals, 5. Isaac Heaney, 4 straight. And Luke Parker kicked a couple of gems, one in particular. 16-15, 111 to 12, 18. Reece Palmer booted 3 for the GWS Giants. Whitfield and Hanbury both amongst the leading disposal getters. Another big game is at the Gabba tonight. Brisbane playing host to the Richmond Tigers. And here come the Tigers. You can watch this game in its entirety on 503. Is the Richmond wagon going to roll on, or can Brisbane turn their early season slump around and return to the winners list again? For the first time, we're going to be joined by Jack Riewoldt on the couch on Monday night here on Fox Footy at 8:30. As I say, it is his first appearance, so really looking forward to that. The Tiger spearhead. Port Adelaide and North Melbourne at Etihad Stadium. This will be a full house, and this should have the makings of a really good game. One late change for North Melbourne. Daniel Wells is out of the side. No change for Port Adelaide. Archie is the sub. Jacobs, who came in for North, is the sub for the Kangaroos.